Hello everyone, I am Mr. Low from Excel Software. Next, I would like to share with you the AutoCount Integrator Plugin. This AutoCount Integrator Plugin is related to the AutoCount Import Plugin that I recorded earlier. The concept is that the AutoCount Import Plugin can import Excel files and CSV files from other programs into AutoCount. But that still requires you to manually upload the Excel file. But if you use this AutoCount Integrator plugin, basically it is automated. It automatically helps you import the entire file into AutoCount. Continuing from last time's plugin, it's about through third-party systems like those DMS, WMS or ERP systems, exporting the Excel file or CSV file.
Then before importing into AutoCount, it needs to go through a plugin. So here, if it's the AutoCount Integrator plugin, it's actually based on the AutoCount Import plugin, setting it as a schedule before we process things like tax compliance, such as GST, SST, or invoicing. But this AutoCount Integrator plugin not only supports this kind of Excel or CSV import, it has many functions. It can also import data from third-party accounting systems into AutoCount in different ways. So let me explain its functions. How many ways are there? You see here, of course, we can set it directly import every few minutes. Maybe you want 60 seconds, or maybe once every half an hour. That's all possible. You can set according to your own requirements of what file you need to auto import. You can do some settings in your own way. So here, it can auto detect and then import based on different file names into different account books. So let's say you have 3 companies, ABC, XYZ, 123, 3 different companies. It will be based on your file name. If your file name is called ABC, it will import that data into the ABC company. Okay, it can understand through the file name.
Okay, it detects based on the file name and its compliance ID.
Then import it into AutoCount. The second is that it can support many methods, including the direct method. The direct method allows creating a temporary table for programmers to import their data into before pushing it into AutoCount. Another is API, which requires their programmer, other programmers, their programming language, and I need to open some APIs. Let the other party receive their data into AutoCount. So the last one we mentioned earlier is file drop. File drop is importing that Excel file. That is the last method for local files or FTP. If you place it on a website, you can import the file through an FTP folder. Both methods are accepted. Both are accepted. Moreover, after it is imported, it will place the original file into a folder. Put the original Excel or CSV file into a temporary folder. So if there are any errors later, you can go back to that folder to check the data in the Excel file or CSV file. Of course, there will be a series of error logs displayed, allowing the user to. Some simple error messages will be shown, allowing the user to resolve them independently without needing a programmer's help. Sometimes the Excel file or the third-party program may have issues. However, the user can manually make adjustments and then re-upload the file to the import folder, and it will automatically process again. It will automatically run again and re-import the data without errors into AutoCount. So now I'll let my partner explain the whole program, how the whole plugin operates. Thank you, everyone.
So this plugin is called the Integrator plugin, and it is mainly used for integration with third-party software. It can be done automatically. So here, our setting has the first one, which is the schedule setting. So actually, in this schedule setting, we can set how many seconds it will auto-detect. We have several functions, several methods. The first one is using, I will go through them one by one later. So here, we will enable which module. So let's first tell you, there is an invoice, there is a credit note. Now I have enabled 3 modules. So now I need to look at what my integration method is. So regarding this integration method, it's like this. I can match different companies. For example, let's say this is my server. Then I get the database list. So here, I will have different account books. So I can match them in. It means that the file drop, as long as the column name of that file detects this company ID, it will push to that account book, pushing to this account book. For example, in this demo 2 account book, its ROC number is this. So kalau wajah may file side, as long as there is this company ID in it, it will automatically push it to the company account book. For example, like this, I just do it like this. Then I will, let me see, maybe my setting is different because I am using a different concept with file drop. So this can be pushed to different account books. So I won't do this because my setup is based on the file drop method. This file drop method means that now I want to use local, which is the local folder on my computer, and your file will drop into this folder. This is the path log, and my CSV delimiter is like this. So I'll give you a brief look. Let's say this is the CSV file. I open with this notepad. You can see my file opens like this, and it is split by this delimiter. So this is my setting. Stop. So for example, in this situation, it drops to this folder. Let's say some customers say they want to drop to FTP. So we can also point to FTP, and here the FTP username and password allow them to send files there. Our scheduler will keep running and detecting if there is a file in this FTP. Once there is, I will pull it in and import it into the system. So this is based on the file drop method. Because of the method I just mentioned is file drop. But actually, we have 3 methods here. So the one I just explained is called file drop. The first method is direct access. Direct access means I will create a temporary table in AutoCount. So when they push data, it is pushed to that temporary table. Third parties can push to that temporary table, and we will process the temporary table and import it into AutoCount. The third method is to call its API, but this requires a programmer to perform this action. The other 2 methods do not require a programmer on our side for AutoCount. So but here on our AutoCount side, we still need a programmer to study the architecture of its API. So now I will talk about the simpler method called file drop basis. It supports CSV, local, or FTP functions. So the second thing we need to do is mapping. So for this mapping, I'll drop because I have already enabled invoice and enabled, let's say CN, enabled payment or something. On our side, we can support various modules. We already support sales, consider everything, purchase everything, stock, accounts payable payment. So here we can support accounts receivable and accounts payable contra or accounts receivable invoice. Most of these modules are included. So now what I want to demo are these 4 files, which is why these 4 files are CN. Debtor means customer, so you might also need to import customers. If you want to update customer information, if a third party has modified any information, you just drop this file and then here we will import it. This way we will suggest a naming convention for the third party. There's the year, month, date, and then with the time 4/26. Let's say this file was generated at midnight. In this case, because this is the file I will drop here, and once I process it, I will throw it into this backup folder so we can refer back to that file anytime. If we find there's an issue with that file, we can refer back to it. So now let's talk about the mapping. So for this mapping, we can do mapping for your Excel or your CSV. So between the column headers in your CSV and what they map to in AutoCount. So if you want to map the address in your CSV, it's called address 1. But in AutoCount, it's called delivery address, or it's the invoices address 1. But when you export it, it's address 1. We can do similar mapping like this. Then on my side, the rest can be cut off or something like that. So I won't do any additional mapping now. After you finish, you just save it, and that's it. So I won't save, I'll just exit. So over here, the rest of these are probably not useful for now. Then over here, we will have an error log. This error log is to say, because my file might encounter some issues and it might not be imported into AutoCount. So we will have an error log form and you can check what the error is at any time. For files with issues, we need to study that file. This is a tag, which is the file name, and we need to look at that file to see what the problem is. So after I press it now, for example, I look at my invoice. So I first delete all these invoices. So now I have no invoices. So here I will keep running on the AutoCount server. So now I am using this profile, this file drop profile. I keep running it and it detects every 60 seconds if there is a file dropped into the directory. So here, this is the general file drop. I will cut this file inside, then cut, and I will drop it in here. So now our backup file has nothing, and with nothing, I will push it to this general one. This file, so the name is not very important because inside our file, we have already included this. Sorry, let me take a look at that file. So open with, that's fine. So here I have already mentioned that the doc type is a CN doc type. In this situation, it will detect the doc type inside, and when it opens, it will know what the doc type is, and then it will process it. Okay, now you will see it has started importing. So there is an error. So after import, it will push this file. Oh, that is move it to this backup folder. You can see. So it will move to this backup folder, which means the process is complete. because it runs every 60 seconds. The next time it runs, you won't see this error here. So if I continue to run it, it feels like there is no error because that file has already been processed. If I want to check a file had an error and couldn't be imported, I can go to this error log. So I will inquire in this error log, and you will see that on June 12th at 6:40, there was a file processed with an error, actually 2 errors. So this error says creditor.mastertable has 0 or 1. So it tells me there is this error. So it turns out this file has this issue. What exactly is the problem? Sometimes if it's easy to understand, you'll see it. This is actually saying that in the file there, it has the same code. So we'll open it. I open that file and I find this file name. So this file name, imagine that your entire folder will have many files. Then we copy this file name and put it here to search. Yeah. So when I search, I find that file name and then I open that file. So open the file and you will see this. Oh, customer, it says, what error? Let me see. It is data has 0 or more than 1 row. So, oh, sorry, this is debtor, but should be, it has the same code in creditor. I have some updates, there's a problem. So maybe this code has already been used on the creditor side. So the second situation is what is this problem? So we can check the error. So this is how to do error checking. And if I solve this problem, once it's solved, I can say I have updated that. I say I have deleted these errors so that I have solved it and I don't want to look at this file again. So I just delete it. So maybe I do it one more time, but time I will use an invoice. I purposely create some issues. For example, this is the invoice format. So here, suppose is, okay, this order number 2 and this number 2. Suppose that is a date field. I accidentally overloaded it and the system shows as of the field after the invoice number is the date field, and here it shows then intentionally create an error and save it. Now, if I have this file and some people say I cut it, I throw it here, then it will process this file. I start, I directly stop and run it. Okay, I see if there is any.
Yes, the moment, okay, back, okay, it be there. It directly says, it already captured it here. It directly says there is a problem in this file.
So we go back to so check the error log. So now you will see this file name, it is invoice, and you will see it says the string was not recognized as a valid date time. So in this situation, again, I go find this file. I go to my backup folder because everything will move to this backup folder. Then I just open up this folder and I check, oh, it turns out there's an issue with the file. In this case, you need to inform the third-party vendor to fix this problem. But I don't want to wait for them to fix it. I can manually fix it, meaning I manually change it to the data I want first. I've noticed this is the problem, so I manually change this data. So I am fixing this file's issue and I inquire about this. This is the tag filter for this file. All these errors are from this file. So now my next step is to take this modified file and run it again. So now with my integrator on the scheduler, I let it run and read the file and it will successfully import. This import means I have manually fixed this file. So I go to the error log and clear this error. Yes, this error, and then I say, okay, I manually fixed this thing and I delete it. Otherwise, it will keep copying in this log. Okay, so now that's it for this integration.